So this is problems title ratios and fixed assets from chapter 3, problem 15. The There we go. What we're going to do is use all the information here provided basically and work down through and calculate the net fixed assets. So these problems, they're going to give you different ratio values, and then we're going to use that information to calculate various numbers. So the Rosedale Company has a ratio of long-term debt to long-term debt plus equity of 0.34. The current ratio of 1.29. Remember that current ratio is current assets divided by current liabilities, so we'll use that later. Current liabilities is 1,450. Sales are 7,380, and then profit margin is 8.1%. So profit margin is net income divided by sales. ROE is 14.3%. That's net income divided by total equity or common equity. So first step here is we're going to use the profit margin. So profit margin to calculate net income. So profit margin is net income divided by sales. So we can rearrange that and to calculate net income. It's just sales multiplied by profit margin. So that's 7,380 multiplied by 0.081. So our net income is $597.78. So now we're going to use net income. That net income along with the ROE to calculate total equity. So ROE to calculate total equity. So ROE equals net income divided by total equity or common equity. You'll see it listed both ways. So we've got ROE and then we got net income. So total equity is just net income divided by ROE, which our net incomes are 7.78. So we divide that by our ROE of 14.3%, 0.143. That gives us a total equity of $4,180.28. So next step is we're going to use the long-term debt to long-term debt plus equity ratio to calculate long-term debt. So I'll abbreviate LTD divided by LTD plus total equity. Calculate long-term debt. Okay, so we know that our ratio is 0.34. So 0.34 is equal to long-term debt divided by long-term debt. LTD. Plus total equity. So what we can do is we can multiply both sides of the equation by long-term debt plus total equity, and that comes out. It cancels out the denominator here, so we get 0.34 LTD LTD plus 0.34 total equity is equal to LTD. So now we're going to subtract this 0.34 LTD from both sides. Minus 0.34 LTD. So that cancels out. So that gives us 0.34 total equity is equal to 0.66 1 minus 0.34 LTD. Okay. So now we want to divide both sides of the equation by 0.66. So we can rearrange this and get LTD, long-term debt, is equal to 0.34 divided by 0.66 total equity. So now that's 0.34 divided by 0.66 is 0.52. But we take our total equity, and we're going to use that. So we plug that in here. So this is 0.52, and then our total equity, it comes from up here, 4,180.28, and that is $2,153.48. So that's our long-term debt. Then so that's LTD. So we can calculate our total assets. We're going to take our long-term debt plus our current liabilities. That's our 1,450, and then our total equity is the 4,180.28, and we add those three up, we get 7,783.76. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to a new page. No. Okay, now we're going to use the current ratio to calculate current assets. $1.29 to calculate current assets. So the current ratio, current assets divided by current liabilities. So so we 1.29 is our current ratio, and then our current liabilities, you recall, 1,450, and then so we'll calculate our current assets. So current assets are going to be the current ratio times current liabilities. So that's current assets is equal to 1.29 times 1,450, and that is $1,870.50. So finally, net fixed assets is equal to total assets minus current assets. So we calculated total assets, 7,783.76, and minus our $1,870. Whoops, screwed that up. $1,870.50, and that gives us net fixed assets of $5,913.26.